So thank you very much for inviting me on today. I have just a couple of slides prepared. So I don't know, Ronan, do you have them? I can share my screen either.
Yeah, if you want to share your screen, probably maybe it's the easiest.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's see.
not I have them here.
I don't know. Can you see that now?
Mm, No, nothing here yet.
Mm,
So, okay, I can share if you'd like. Okay, will I share?
yeah, please, Ronan.
Yeah, great. Okay. So, you see that? Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Lovely stuff.
Yeah.
So, I'm just going to talk about the work that myself and my family do for Heritage Week. So it's Carrigeen Farmhouse. So this is our family home. It is my paternal grandmother's family home. So if you wouldn't mind just scrolling on to the next slide, please, Rona. So the house, it is just a traditional farm cottage. It was nothing spectacular, nothing unusual 150 years ago, but I suppose with the passage of time, houses like this fell into disrepair, fell down, and they were, I suppose, moved out of the way for newer houses. And what has preserved this house really is there's a thatch roof, but it's under the galvanized. So the thatch is still there, but the galvanized has protected the roof structure. My dad continues to light a fire regularly, which keeps the house nice and dry and warm. So that really has gone a long way to preserving it. And in terms of timeline, my great great grandfather was born into the house in 1799. So that's as far back as I can trace the house. But on the 1901 census, my grandmother was living in that house, age 4, with her parents and her siblings. So we know it goes back to 1799, and if my great great grandfather was born into it in 1979, there was family living there at that time. So it predates that time, and all the fixtures and fittings that are in the house, they're the same as they were back my grandmother's time, my great grandmother's time, back away along the ways. You have the dresser, you have settle beds, all the bits and pieces that you would expect in a traditional farm cottage. In that photograph there now, you can see that there was a porch added in the 1990s. And that was just to make the house a little bit more comfortable for my grandmother who was living there at the time. And actually her sister, my grandaunt, ran away from a nursing home and came back to live in her family home. And my grandaunt was the last occupant who died from the house in 1997. So the house kind of, I suppose, it became a bit of a shed after that time. If you don't mind scrolling on to the next slide, Ronan. So in from 1997, there was nothing really done with the house, but it was always kind of, I suppose, I always thought it was like a little bit significant in terms of all the furniture that was in it. And in 2017, the windows needed replacing. And I had applied for the Built Heritage grant. Now, I knew nothing about Heritage, Heritage Week, Heritage Council, anything. I just saw a chance maybe to get some support in terms of funding to have the windows replaced. And you can see in that picture there, we did have the windows replaced with support from our county conservation architect Richard McKenna and our heritage officer, and it was my brother-in-law who made those windows following a design pattern of an old photograph we had. But when I started, I suppose, to tidy up at the house in 2017, I had been talking to Richard McKenna and I asked our heritage officer Amanda Pedlow to come out and visit and just have a look at the house and see what she thought. And it was Amanda that got Dr. Claudia Kinmont to come and visit, who I suppose changed everything, changed our view on the house, and who was really taken with all the furniture, the fittings, everything that was there. and the stories and the family that were still there. So that's how we got involved. So I suppose it was from a need, really, of financial assistance that we reached out. And like, I mean, the support we've got since 2017 has been amazing. If you don't mind going on there, please, Ronan. So we had our first Heritage Week experience in 2017, and it was Dr. Claudia Kinmont that led the tour. And Claudia talked about all the furniture that was there, the history of the furniture. She's a furniture expert. She knows it inside out. She knows by feeling the door what it was made with, what type of machinery it was used. But I continued on the tours. Now, I don't have the level of furniture information. I'm not a furniture expert. But what I do have is, I suppose, the family stories, the family background. And it is a real family effort. And what I love most about it is it's like kind of harvest for the family. Everyone gets together and kind of pulls together for a couple of days during Heritage Week, and we offer tours. My sister comes and bakes bread on the open fire, and you can see that there in the little picture. And it's multi-generational. My dad's siblings come along, and my aunt has stories, dad has stories, and my nieces and nephews are there helping. So it really is a lovely family project and a family effort. We did win Heritage Hero Awards in 2019, as Ronan has mentioned, and that's a small section of the family that help out. But we really enjoyed the tours. And I suppose even in 2020, when we couldn't do tours, my sister had a bread making video. So we were still part of the Heritage Week experience, even throughout COVID. We haven't missed a year yet, so hopefully we'll be able to continue on with that streak. If you go to the next slide, please, Ronan. So what I would say about when organising Heritage Week events, I've been doing it now for few years at this stage, and I've learned from my own, I suppose, mistakes and things. Keep photographs, keep the brochure blurb on file, because for a couple of years, every time I'd be starting from scratch until I went, hang on a second now, did I not just write all this? What felt like a couple of years ago, but as the year passes by, um, it gets lost. So just keep it, keep a little Heritage Week file. The Heritage officers, they're a wealth of knowledge. Amanda Pedlow, our Heritage officer in Offaly, has been amazing and is always there for support. And her team in the Heritage office, I know I probably drive poor Karen Gray mad with like, have you got that ready yet? And I'm like, oh, I'll get that, I'll get that. But they're an amazing support, and I can't praise them highly enough. The idea is like we kind of go with simple ideas. I'm always trying to change things. I'm always trying to look for new things. We do a tour, I lead the tour, and like people come along and it's just nostalgic for them. It reminds them of their grandmother's house or maybe Nan's house to tell me smells the same even. But I learn as much from people as people coming to visit learn from me. We've done things like music evenings because my dad would be musical, that's what he enjoys, so we tap into that. My mum and my sister enjoy crochet. We've had crochet in the kitchen, we've had Kaylee in the kitchen, just kind of simple things. But the first year I did it, we had, I don't know, had it open over 4 days, and you just get a scattering of people over 4 days. So now we've kind of slimmed it back a bit. So it was kind of 1 or 2 days, and anyone who's interested can come along those rather than having it for 4 days and you have a smaller number of people across the 4 days. When you get a group together, it's a real group atmosphere, and I suppose so. I think that's something that I've learned as I've gone along, and I enjoy it so much. I only do it once a year, and so that means it's new, it's fresh. My siblings all help out, so we don't get sick of each other too much as if we were doing it the whole time. And it's just like it is, like I said, intergenerational. It's a family project. People come along with their families, and you hear all about their stories as well. So it's a really, really nice thing to do. I enjoy it. I hope the family enjoy it too. And I'm happy to help if I can in any way. So that's it from me. If you have any questions, please throw them at me now. Thank you very much.